Hello and welcome to the Angerati studio on day 2 at Charge 2016, the world's first energy branding conference. And today we're joined by Maik Neubauer, Managing Director of Shell Privat Energie. Maik, how are you doing?
Good morning, and thanks for the invitation to have the session with you.
Always, always. Maik, would you mind telling us, just for the benefit of people tuning into this, a bit more about Shell Privat Energie and what it is, what you stand for, and where you are at the moment?
Yeah, sure. So Shell Privat Energie is not a company. The company is First Utility, the subsidiary of First Utility Limited from the UK. First Utility Limited is number 7 in the UK retail market, so the first independent supplier after the Big Six. And the idea to form this kind of joint venture, Shell Privat Energie, in Germany with Shell is to enlarge the existing value chain of Shell on the continent into the retail energy sector. So delivering power and gas to households and small and medium businesses.
Awesome. So just to recount that, it's First Utility, Shell, and the brand is Shell Privat Energie in Germany.
Yes. So we licensed the brand from Shell, and we are acting under the kind of a trade name or product name Shell Privat Energie.
Okay, well, I imagine that opens us to an interesting round of questions being at a branding event. So in terms of Shell Privat Energie in Germany, what are the key brand drivers for you in your role as managing director and obviously for the organization?
Yeah, I said before, we are First Utility in Germany, but regarding the customer contact, we are appearing as Shell Private Energy in Germany. So the customer is seeing the Shell brand, they are seeing the Shell appearance, they are seeing the Shell marketing and sales channels. So we are Shell Private Energy and not First Utility. Although First Utility is the operational company behind the Shell Private Energy brand, so we are the contract partner to the customer, and we are delivering or ensuring the delivering of energy to the customer.
So that's a very interesting, or how do I say, pretty complex to and fro. How do you deal with making sure the message comes across? Because I imagine, this interview, I'll ask you the differences, but for the guy at the pump or the guy at the paying his bill, he's like, who am I buying from?
Yeah, it's a good question, but we are playing this very transparent. So we are explaining the relationship between Shell Energy or Shell Brands International and First Utility and the construction behind this kind of joint venture. So the customer knows that the energy is coming from First Utility, we are the contract partner, but Shell is a big partner within this partnership. So delivering the energy, we are buying energy from Shell in London and delivering this energy into the German grids. Okay,
so let's talk about some of the opportunities and challenges that come with this. I mean, we've touched on a bit of the challenge in terms of, the mixed message or being clear. Let's talk about opportunities. So, working with a trusted partner like Shell, what are some of those benefits that you're able to leverage in this kind of offering to the market?
Yeah. Well, sure. The Shell brand is known for more than 100 years in Germany. Many million of people filling up their cars for many years at Shell, the Shell stations. So it's a good starting point to have an existing brand, having an existing level of trust in the market. And well, everybody in Germany knows Shell. Shell as a huge energy company. And so it's quite logical to extend this kind of value chain into the household, into the private household area or the small business area to deliver power and gas to these customers.
And I'm curious to ask you a question on sort of cross-brand opportunities. I mean, it's something you see more in the retail sector, Marks and Spencer's offering points on their card. Is there room, scope, or probably you're already doing it now in terms of, opportunities that come to, say, electric customers via the fueling part or vice versa?
Well, I think it's mainly about the brand perception of Shell as an energy company. And a lot of people are wondering why have they started this so lately, so not 10 years before, because it's a logical step to go into this retail energy sector from Shell.
And I imagine, because I take you as someone who's very forward-looking. For those of you who don't know, you can follow Maik on Twitter. I do already. He says some really interesting stuff on energy policy and the future of energy. Yeah. One of the big things about the future of energy and being discussed at this event is renewables. I imagine, are there any opportunities on the horizon that you're keeping your fingers on or just watching? Maybe potentially EV charging, things like that?
Well, this is a very big strategic area. I cannot comment on today because I think Shell is watching this space very closely, and there are some ideas in the UK market. I think you have read the news from Shell yesterday that they are working in this EV market. In Germany, we have a slightly different perspective because it's a very young market. We have only 25,000 e-cars on the streets. There will be increasing trend toward this, but I think there's not a clear position in this market.
Okay, so we'll take it as a very measured response then. Well, I want to kind of come back to the event so far, and obviously being a managing director or someone at the top of the the top of the organizational chart, one of the key points that's been mentioned at the event is, the need to engage senior management in understanding the value of brand. You're one of those people. How have you found some of the points that you've heard today? Do they resonate with some of the way you go about your day-to-day activity? Or have you learned some, have there been some key takeaways that you felt, okay, I need to kind of revisit some of this when I get back home?
Yeah. Well, I think this conference is quite special. It's focused on a special topic for branding in the energy area. And I think most of these guys in the room, they have understood that branding is quite important for energy, especially for retail energy, because branding is kind of an underlying force of trust, or creates trust at the retail side of the market. Especially if you're thinking about new technologies, smart homes, smart technologies. So customers, they are not wanting just a pure commodity, they want solutions. And you can deliver solutions quite better if you have a trusted brand or a good brand. That's our personal feeling.
So I imagine for you, Maik, then, would you say that your day-to-day, or some of the big sort of pain points or touch points for you will be in enabling your team to deliver on some of those opportunities, take advantage of differentiation, appreciating service in the retail space?
Yeah, I think the age of pure commodity delivery or just putting very cheap prices in the market is gone. So you have to think about solutions, you have to think about bundles and value-added services for the customers. This is quite important. So you have to think in partnerships, technology partnerships, service partnerships to reach your customers.
Okay. Well, I guess it's probably early days for me to ask how the reception has been so far, but I will do it because I'm that guy, So what's the reception been like? And maybe it's more of an internal thing. How are you seeing the traction? How are you seeing the response from the teams? Do they buy to your progressive look on retail?
Yeah. So you know that we started on the 1st of October last year, and we are still in the market. So we have some customers, and I think the reception of the brand and Shell Privat Energy as a new product offering is quite positive in the German market. We also have seen some customers coming in from the small and medium business area, so not only private households, also from the business area. And these customers are looking for a trusted supplier, for good service, and for a good supplier and customer relationship. So they don't want this kind of hassle in their supplier relationship. They want to have a good service. So our strategy seems to be playing out, and we are looking forward to the next years.
Good Lord, it's like the sky is like butter won't melt, right? Don't worry, you can always find out more about Shell Privat Energy on their website. But Maik, before I let you get out the hot seat, my last question to you is, kind of on this 1-year journey you've been on so far, what do you think will be the next big step for you in your role, and that obviously will have impact on the company? What do you think the next big thing will be?
Well, the next big thing is for sure to activate the existing Shell platform. So the 2,000 plus retail stations in Germany, we are trying out some kind of pilots, some projects, how we can attract the customer without disturbing the operational processes within the retail stations. So this is quite important, this partnership. We can use this kind of network, but we have to do it very carefully. And then we are trying to sell our products and position our products in the retail stores. And we are the only utility in Germany who has a network of 2,000 plus retail stations or retail outlets. This is a quite big advantage for us, if it will be possible to reach out for the customers.
Well, thank you very much, Maik. I think that's a brilliant place for us to draw this interview to a close.
You're welcome. Thank you
very much. And thank you as well for listening into this interview. If you'd like to find out more about brand and market and value proposition strategies, please check out the other interviews in the series, and feel free to tune into Engerati for more info. Thank you very much.